Hi guys, coming to you this time from a pond that is really close to my house. Beautiful, love this spot, so serene. We are moving on to chapter 9. Now, last time we read, Odysseus had made it to Phaeacia and he was telling the king and queen about his journeys to try to get home. So he was telling his story, which we might believe might have been a little bit of a tall tale too. I mean, his story was a little unbelievable, super exciting. We're not quite sure if it was all true or if he added some details to it to make it pretty exciting. We did learn that eventually all of his men ended up being killed, either gobbled up or drowned. So when we left off, he had just finished telling his tale to the king and the queen of Phaeacia. Chapter 9 is called The Phaeacians Send Odysseus Home. The king, the queen, and the rest of the court clapped after Odysseus finished his stories. It was hard to believe that he had been through so much and survived. Odysseus was indeed as brave and as strong as legend said he was. "Odysseus," said the king, "I think we all agree that you have been through enough. Soon you will leave Phaeacia to set sail to Ithaca. You will take many gifts with you." The evening before Odysseus was to sail away, the king held a farewell banquet in the hero's honor. Even as he ate with the kind Phaeacians, Odysseus looked towards the sun. He wanted to speed its setting. He longed to be on his way home. In the morning, Odysseus and his Phaeacian crew boarded a great ship. Once it set sail, the ship bounded forward like an eager racehorse. The front curved like the neck of a beautiful stallion. The ship left a great wave of dark blue water in its wake as it moved gracefully and smoothly over the sea. The Phaeacians proudly sailed the ship toward Ithaca. Odysseus' home. Odysseus slept soundly the whole way, dreaming of Penelope and Telemachus. When they reached the Ithacan shore, the Phaeacians did not want to wake Odysseus. They gently lifted him off the ship and laid him down under an olive tree. Odysseus would be hidden there until he woke up. The men arranged all the king's gifts on the ground around Odysseus. Then they left to sail back home. Poseidon saw the Phaeacian ship leaving Ithaca. The sea god knew it had brought Odysseus home. Poseidon felt the Phaeacians had disrespected him by helping Odysseus. He followed the ship back to Phaeacia. Just as it sailed into harbor, Poseidon turned the whole ship into stone. Then it plunged to the bottom of the sea. The sea god wanted to teach the Phaeacians a lesson about disrespecting the gods. In fact, he did. The Phaeacian people saw it all happen. They never again showed kindness to any stranger passing through their land. How sad that he turned such kind and gentle people into people who became not willing to help anybody anymore. When Odysseus woke, he didn't know where he was. He had been away for so long that he didn't even know his own home. Just as he always did when arriving somewhere new, he wondered, what will the people of this place be like? He looked around at the gifts the Phaeacians had given him. There were gold goblets, well-crafted jugs, and beautiful blankets. He searched for some place to hide his treasure. At that moment, Athena came to him. She was disguised as a young shepherd. "My friend," said Odysseus, "you are the first person I have met in this new country. Can you tell me where I am?" The shepherd told him he was in Ithaca. Odysseus was used to lying to strangers about who he really was. He automatically said, "Oh, yes, Ithaca. I have heard of that place." Athena smiled and turned back into her goddess form. She joked with him. "Odysseus," she asked, "won't you ever stop your tricks? You don't have to lie to protect yourself. It's me, Athena, and I've been keeping watch over you during your journey." "You're one to speak about lying," he teased back. "You're always in disguises." "And where were you before when I reached the Phaeacians? Where were you when I was suffering? Is this some kind of trick now, or am I finally back in Ithaca?" "I'm very sorry for your suffering," Athena said. "I did not want to anger Poseidon. He still wants revenge upon you for blinding his son. But let me make it up to you now." Athena helped Odysseus finish hiding the Phaeacians' gifts. "Now," Athena went on, "I will help you come up with a plan for your return home. I will help you face those wicked suitors." First, they decided Odysseus was to tell no one his true identity. No one should know he had returned to Ithaca. To make this easier, Athena disguised Odysseus as an old beggar man. She covered his body with wrinkles. She made his blonde hair disappear so he looked bald. Athena turned his clothes to rags and then sent him to his own home. When he got there, he was to speak to his loyal old swineherd. This man lived in a small house on Odysseus's property. In the meantime, Athena would go to Sparta to see Telemachus. It was time for him to stop searching for his father and to come home. My family doesn't know I'm alive, Odysseus suddenly realized. I cannot wait to see my wife and son. Please, Athena, bring them to me now. No, you must stay in disguise until I tell you to reveal your true identity, Athena explained. This is the way it must be. And with that, she left. Odysseus hiked until he reached the edge of his property. There he saw his old, loyal swineherd named Eumaeus. Odysseus noticed that there were fewer pigs than there used to be, but he could see that Eumaeus had been taking good care of his animals and the land. When Eumaeus' dogs saw Odysseus, they started to bark. The dogs ran toward him, wagging their tails. Eumaeus called them off. "Old man, you should not wander onto other people's properties," he told Odysseus. "These dogs might have made a meal of you. I don't need any more problems. Already I have lost my wonderful master. Now I have to tend pigs for some greedy suitors to eat." Eumaeus invited Odysseus, still disguised as a beggar, inside. He saw that the beggar needed to eat and rest. Odysseus sat down where Eumaeus told him and ate what was brought to him. The master was pleased by his servant's generosity to strangers. Eumaeus then told him about the suitors who had occupied Odysseus's home. "These suitors are trying to marry fair Penelope, wife of my beloved master," Eumaeus says. "It sickens me. We do not even know if Odysseus is dead or alive." When he was done eating and drinking, Odysseus said, "My friend, do not worry about your master. Do not be concerned that the greedy suitors will succeed. I promise you, Odysseus is coming back, and he will get his revenge." Eumaeus sighed. "I hope you're right," he said. Because he could not help it, Odysseus tested the swineherd's loyalty. "I do not want to trouble you any more," he said. "Tomorrow I will go begging in the city. Perhaps someone else will give me a drink and a piece of bread. I will go to Odysseus' house and ask the suitors if they will give me dinner." The swineherd was bothered by this idea. "You must stay far away from those horrid suitors," he exclaimed. "They would not be kind to you. Once Telemachus comes home, he will give you a shirt and a cloak. We will send you wherever you want to go, but you must stay here with me in the meantime." Still, Odysseus tested him. "Please, Eumaeus," he said, "the wind has picked up and a cold rain has begun. Can't you give me a cloak?" Although he had none extra, Eumaeus gave Odysseus the cloak off his own back. Odysseus wrapped himself in it, and then he lay down and fell asleep in front of the fire. His old friend was more loyal and true than Odysseus could have ever imagined. Athena had already arrived in Sparta. She found Telemachus and approached him. "Telemachus," Athena said, "you did a brave thing. Not all young men would set out to search for their fathers. Now it's time for you to go home. Your mother needs you." She explained that one of the suitors was trying too hard to convince Penelope to marry him. He kept bothering her even when Penelope told him to leave her alone. Telemachus said he would leave as soon as possible. "Wait," Athena said. "There's one more thing. Some of the suitors are waiting for you in Ithaca's harbor. They mean to kill you before you reach home. Steer your ship to the other side of the island. Anchor there instead. You will have a longer hike back to your house, but you will be safe." Athena also asked him to go straight to the house of Eumaeus to spend the night. The following day he could go back home and let his mother know he was all right. Telemachus agreed. Back on his ship, Telemachus ordered his men to lift the sails. They loosened the ropes, holding the ships to the dock. Athena sent them a fair, strong wind. the ship sailed back to Ithaca as quickly as possible. All right, so Odysseus has made it back to Ithaca. He wants so much just to go see his wife and his son, but Athena said, no, wait, we got to go about this the right way. So she has sent for Telemachus to come back. Odysseus is hanging out with Eumaeus. Eumaeus worked for him, very kind, generous servant, we're finding out, gave him the cloak off his own back. Odysseus agreed to kind of hang out with Eumaeus until things get a little bit better. So we can only hope that when Telemachus comes back, that things are finally going to be set right. All right, I will see you soon for the next chapter.